Our meeting tonight is the launch of our 2026-2028 Voter Outreach Plan. With a targeted grassroots mobilization effort, our goal is to reach every Democratic and no-party affiliation voter in Palm Beach County. Our new Voter Outreach Manual, featuring a comprehensive step-by-step action plan, will be distributed tomorrow to everyone on our email list. Please feel free to share it widely. The guide draws on 4 key sources. Number 1, our vision and the experience of the Voter Outreach Committee. Number 2, the proven grassroots playbook of the Cascades Caucus in Estero, Florida, a group that successfully organized Democrats in a deeply red community through neighbor-to-neighbor outreach. Number 3, the neighbor-to-neighbor program formalized by the Palm Beach County DEC, which trains local volunteers to serve as trusted neighborhood contacts. And number 4, technology. We now have cutting-edge technology and more innovative ways to reach voters than ever before. Those platforms include the updated Voter Activation Network, Scale to Win for high-volume peer-to-peer texting, the Dialer for high-volume phone banking, and Mobilize for volunteer coordination. Linda will be speaking of those later. Tonight, we will hear from 3 speakers who will help illuminate the path forward. Mark Beaumont. Mark is an activist who is a founding member of Palm Beach Indivisibles, one of the earliest Indivisible groups that organized in 2016. His roles as VP and then president of the organization helped elect Joe Biden in 2020. He inaugurated a neighbor-to-neighbor approach to voter outreach that has been tremendously successful in Palm Beach and neighboring towns. He is now a member of the Palm Beach County Democratic Party Executive Committee, where he has been expanding his neighbor-to-neighbor program. Linda Rosenthal, wave Linda. Linda has been involved with the PBC Democratic Party since 1996, becoming a precinct leader and taking on the role of zone leader. She is currently the chair of the Boca Delray Dem Club and is a valuable member of the Indivisible Boca Raton Steering Committee. Among other activities she is involved with at Indivisible Boca Raton, she has been working with Frankie Wilson, helping to create the Voter Outreach Manual. And our first speaker will be Shelley Feingold. Shelley moved down to Florida just 3 years ago from New Jersey. Because she landed in a deep red county, in a deep red state, she knew she had to do something to meet like-minded people. Always an activist, she co-founded the Cascades Caucus, a grassroots group in Southwest Florida. She will talk about how the organization got started, grew, and became an inspiration for other gated communities. I also want to mention that we have been friends for over 60 years. We were both 12 years old when we met working at a day camp in Long Island.
Thank you, lady who I don't know, because I'm not old enough to know anyone for 60 years. Just kidding. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here, and so is my Cascades Caucus. They're excited. So I'm going to talk about how we built, maintained, and continue to grow Cascades Caucus in Estero, and how you can do it too. We're in Southwest Florida, as you know, blood red part of the state, and we are at a tremendous disadvantage. Registered Republicans outnumber Democrats 2-1. So how did a small group of neighbors turn isolation into community and community into action? After the last presidential election, many of us were feeling discouraged. because of where we live. It was easy to feel like we were alone in what mattered to us. So we did something small but important. We showed up. A few of us started attending meetings that we were hearing about, looking for connection, looking for information, and honestly, just to be in a room with like-minded people. And that's where the idea began. Not a grand plan, not a big organization, just a question. Where are the other people like us? From there, 4 friends and neighbors talked to their friends, and suddenly we were a group of 9. We acquired a list of registered Democrats in our community and began reaching out by phone, by email, even casual conversations at the pool where people were afraid to talk about being Democrats at the pool. And we said, no more of that nonsense. We just decided we have to be out there. So some people weren't interested, but more people were. And by the way, the Democratic Party of Lee County has been beyond fantastic with helping us with current lists of registered Democrats and those with no party affiliation. Their support has been so important to us. Reach out to your county Democrat office. They will help you and they will appreciate your effort to help them change things. The chair and VP of the Democratic Party of Lee County attend nearly every event that we hold, no matter how big or small. Their presence brought valuable insight, information, and credibility to our gatherings. Our attendees were truly impressed by their engagement and their support. Their encouragement played a tremendous role in our growth and helped change the success and direction of the Cascades Caucus. Then we decided to take the next step and started working on planning get-togethers and planning meetings. We started an email list and created a simple system for communication. Our first gatherings were small. We actually met in a local Panera about 6 o'clock in the evening when nobody is in Panera. They don't bother you, they leave you alone. We had Zoom meetings in Panera. You can do that too. Go at a time that, don't go lunchtime, but go in the evening when no one's there. They will not bother you. But then what happened was we outgrew Panera. And then we needed to meet in each other's homes or at the pool for our brief but productive meetings. So we did something that changed everything. We started inviting people into our homes, and we moved on to house parties. We are a community of private homes, so we have different size houses there. The people with the bigger houses were happy to host. People with smaller houses contributed in other ways. We do have one team member who is a former Republican. She did vote for Trump in 2016, soured on him, has a husband who's still 100% MAGA, and she's part of our planning committee, so we don't host anything in her home because apparently it's like waving a red flag in front of a bull, according to her. But we do have several Cascades Caucus members who are married to MAGAs, and they desperately need us. And when they're with us, they feel so good, they're so happy, they're so relaxed, and they feel safe because they can say anything they like, and no one's going to jump down their throats. So we had large parties, smaller get-togethers. We've even had meet the candidate events. Candidates will come to your location, whether it's in the library or in someone's house. If it's small, the candidates will come to you. So the most important thing is, what did we hear over and over at any of our gatherings? I thought I was the only one. You know exactly what they meant. And we're not the only ones. The problem is Democrats are very demure, they're quiet, we're polite, we're nice. It's enough of that. We need to toughen up. We need to toughen up. And the best conversations that we overheard were the ones where neighbors, people who've lived near each other for years, did not know that they were Democrats. You're a Democrat? I can't. So am I. They were shocked. They were shocked. This gives them another way to reach out, be together, and have someone else to talk about what's going on. So that's another wonderful thing. So we realized we weren't just organizing. We were building community. And at each event, we had 2 clear goals. One, first, helping people connect with like-minded neighbors, and second, make sure they were registered to vote and had a plan to participate, whether it's a mail-in ballot or not. We had a team member at every gathering with his laptop ready and waiting The app was open and everyone could check their voting status right at our event. And it's crucial because we found out in Lee County, 95% of registered Democrats vote if they vote by mail. And of course, the supervisor of elections in 2024 decided to cancel everyone's mail-in ballot because we knew that we were registered until December 26, and then we got a postcard telling us you're no longer registered. That person decided to take everyone off of the email ballot list. So that's what we're working on now, because not everybody got the postcard, but everyone was taken off the list. So we have to remember, they will do anything to keep us from the polls. And we have to work very hard to make sure that everyone who wants and needs to vote gets out there and votes. So whatever event we held, we stayed focused on those goals, and that focus allowed us to grow. From house parties, we expanded. We launched a monthly newsletter, hosted social events, continued partnering with our County Democratic Party, and we keep reaching out again and again to other gated communities and to people who live in non-HOA areas. And here's the most important part. There's nothing unique about us. What we did can be done anywhere. So if you're wondering how to recreate something like the Cascades Caucus in your own community, let me leave you with a few things to think about, and I'll share 7 key takeaways to help you build your own caucus, united group, or whatever you choose to call yourselves. When you have a planning team set, and it just needs to be 3 to 5 people, come up with a name for your group. What matters is having a clear identity, something people can connect with, rally around, and feel proud of. We decided to stay away from using Democrat or blue or donkeys because even though we are 99.9%, we have 1 rhino, composed of registered Democrats, we've also reached out to unaffiliated voters and invited them to a special welcome party. We were able to get 5 of the 10 people who attended to change their party registration to Democrat that very day. And that's what we stress. There's a likelihood of possibly getting funding from the state for our candidates if we show them that we have enough Democrats who'll get out there and vote. And also, we want to be welcoming to everyone who shares our values, and we're open to anyone who's changed their mind and was once supported what is. They are welcome, always. So, number 1, start small, but start. You don't need dozens of people, you just need 3 or 4 committed people. Momentum grows from action, not perfection. 2, find your people, reach out directly, use voter lists, community networks, personal connections. Don't wait for people to come to you, go to them. Personal outreach is what makes this work. When you connect with your local Democrat office, you'll get your lists of people, you'll know who's a registered Democrat, and that will help you. Neighbors reach out to neighbors. It's not as hard as it sounds. Create welcoming, low-pressure events. House gatherings work because they feel safe and personal. Keep them simple. Food always helps, as you well know. Conversation matters more than programming. It doesn't matter if you have 5 people or 25 people attend. If your homes are smaller, you could do 2 concurrent events in 2 different places with small groups of people. As long as everyone understands that they're part of this now, and they need to talk about what's happening and help find people who are looking also for this connection. 4, stay focused on clear, achievable goals. For us, it was connection and voter readiness. Don't try to do everything at once. Focus builds confidence and success. 5, follow up and build structure. Collect contact information, send thank you notes, start an email list or a newsletter. Growth doesn't happen at the event, it happens after the event. Keep planning. We went with Gmail accounts called Cascades Caucus at Gmail. All of our emails come from there. It doesn't cost anything, it's simple, it's easy. And when people get emails from Cascades Caucus, they will open it because they're familiar. We just drill in Cascades Caucus over and over again. That's our identification, and that's what they see, and then they will open our emails. So easy to do. Build a core team and share the work. Assign roles, communications, outreach, events. A small, reliable team creates consistency and prevents burnout. And keep the momentum going. After each event or election, regroup, evaluate, and plan next steps. We do a hot wash after every event, where the planning team immediately reviews what went on, what we heard, what was good, what was bad. Organizing isn't a one-time effort, it's an ongoing process. Trust me when I tell you, this is not the heavy lift you think it is. When you get a few people together willing to do some work, a couple of hours a week, you'll be very surprised at what you can accomplish. In our group, there's one person who likes taking minutes. He's sitting over there. Okay, his minutes are more like a court transcript, but he needs to work a little bit on that. But he loves doing it, so he's our minutes taker. We have 3 people. 3 of us love to cook and bake. I'm one of them. So we make the homemade stuff, and the other people bring the wine, the drinks, the desserts, the appetizers, whatever's needed. There's something so healthy about being with like-minded people right now. It feels like the best form of therapy to help us cope with the nightmare that we're living in. And here's the bottom line. People aren't disengaged because they don't care. They're disengaged because they feel alone. And when you fix that, when you create real, local, human connection, you unlock everything else. Energy, participation, votes, leadership. And that's what we did. And if a handful of neighbors in a very red community can do it, so can you. Start small, start now, start where you are, because that's how we win. Forget purple, let's turn Florida blue.
Good evening, Indivisible Boca Raton. Could not think of a better thing to do on a Monday night than be in a room with a whole bunch of people that want to save democracy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. So yeah, the 2016 election was a slap in the face to democracy and us, people who care about democracy. We, along with the Palm Beach County Democratic Party, ex-Democratic Party congressional people, formed Indivisible back in 2016. And they obviously did that because of the election results and the recognition that what the Democratic Party was doing at the time was not working. Okay? Indivisible was formed, chapters all over the country, and Palm Beach Indivisibles formed. And then early in 2017, we hooked up with the Democratic Party and said, look, we got some ideas that maybe can help boost voter turnout as we go along. So we put together a program, and listening to what Shelley was saying, the aspect of gatherings is just music to my ears. Because basically what the Democratic Party at the time was doing was mobilizing. They would have an election coming up, they would get candidates, they would start doing the emails, the phone calls, the text, phone banking or what have you. And what they didn't do was organize throughout the process way before the elections came up. So there was really not a lot of recognition of what was going on when the elections came. And one of the things that we noticed was that there was a marked drop-off in midterm election participation of voters. And when Ron DeSantis got in, that particular election was extremely close. And had we had the ability to organize more people, we probably would have had a much different outcome. So Palm Beach Indivisibles worked outside of the Democratic Party at the time, but we worked with them in that we basically tried to focus on precincts that had no precinct organizer. Now in Palm Beach County, there's about 900 precincts. The Palm Beach Democratic Party has about 200 to 250 covered, and there's a lot that are just vacant. So what we did was we got a list of all of the precincts. We tried to reach out to our group of members and tried to start filling precincts with organizers. We got about 25 to 30 precincts over 2 election cycles, and we increased voter turnout by about 8 to 10% over the 2 election cycles. So the program works with gatherings. And what we did was we started with hot Democratic voters. Those are voters who vote every election cycle, usually the last 2, and we even came up with a new term, super voters. Those are Democratic voters who basically don't miss. I mean, if you look at my record, you could go back to 1989 and see that I've not missed a single election. I vote every time, every time. So what we did was we got the precincts that we were going to focus on. We reached out to hot Democratic voters and we invited them to gatherings. So basically, those hot Democratic voters that show up to your house, those are the people that you enlist to help you activate the precinct. Now, you can offer them 3 streets, 5 streets, a building, what have you, but basically, you're giving them an option to participate at whatever level that they feel comfortable with, right? And then basically, from there, those hot Democrats, suppose they pick 3 streets. So they get a list of all of the warm voters in their neighborhood. Those are the people who vote every once in a while, and those are the people that we're trying to turn out in midterms to boost up the voter. And we're also trying to get them, obviously, to register to vote by mail. So what they do is they have another gathering of those 3 streets, and then they, convince the people to, register to vote by mail, and then maybe enlist them to help reach out further in the neighborhood. We also, reach out to NPAs as well. Within the statistics that we can use in the van, we can target NPAs that are leaning more towards the left or Democrats, and then we invite them as well. So it's the difference between organizing and creating community and mobilizing. What we're trying to do is organize on a year-round basis, election cycle to election cycle, and obviously create community. And so I decided to this go around get more involved with the Democratic Party and try to help them. So I'm a DEC member, and I have been for years and years and years. But the thing is that we're trying to basically invite people to get the process of and know how precinct organizing works. And for me as a Democrat, as the DEC member, trying to get some of those people to join the party as a full-fledged precinct organizer. So this is kind of like a way to get in on the ground floor, test it out, see if you like it, and if you want to take the next step to actually become a precinct organizer within the party, that's great. If not, that's great. It doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is make sure that we defend our democracy, we elect officials that are going to be attuned to our values, and get rid of this authoritarianism, fascism that's creeping steadfastly throughout our nation. We're going to be here for the long run, and I've been here doing this since 2016, and I thank you all for your interest here tonight. Thank you. Next up is Linda Rosenthal.
Many times throughout my vast history, and I won't tell you how long that is, of being a political activist, I've been told time and time again that the next election will be the most important of your life. This time, it's true.
Got that right.
So I'm about to talk to you about some tools that we are going to make available to you. Please listen with your heart as well as your brain. First, we're going to help you with 3 core goals. The first and the obvious one is registration. We want to ensure that every Democrat in our community, as well as every correct-thinking voter, is actively registered with a current address and with no barriers to casting a ballot. Okay, I don't know why it is, but statistically, if you get the vote by mail ballot mailed to your home, and that's what the next focus is going to be, is to ensure that everybody re-enrolls in vote by mail. How many of you in this room have checked your status on the Supervisor of Elections website? Great. That is great. How many of you are signed up to vote by mail? All right, great numbers. Okay. We want to make sure that there are people, and I will tell you, I had an early dinner with a friend this afternoon, and I was talking about what I was going to say tonight, and she said to me, "Oh, I didn't know I had to re-enroll and vote by mail." And this is somebody who I see at least 3 times on a weekly basis, and I was flabbergasted that she didn't know and that I didn't do anything about it. Well, of course, I remedied that tonight. This is very important because if you get the ballot mailed to your home, I don't know why, but this is the truth, there's an 80 to 95% greater chance that you'll vote. Whether you use the ballot or not, you will still vote. And so that's going to be our second emphasis. And the third one is to get out the vote. We've been told time and time again, and when you hear from David Jolly, who is one of my faves this year, he's going to talk to you about how Democrats are not going to be elected unless we get the NPAs, the no-party-affiliation people. And the proof of that is the miraculous win of HD 87, where Emily Gregory won a seat that had been red forever. She did not win it without the NPA votes, and that's why we're going to make sure that we help everybody. And for right now, the message is going to be to the NPAs, because the ones that we've reached out to, lots of them, and Myra can attest to this, because she was helping us make the phone calls, they did not know that if they're not registered in a party, they are totally disenfranchised from voting in the primary. They can only vote for nonpartisan and amendments and things like that. So we have to make sure that people are aware of that. Sounds good, right? Yeah. Or maybe you're thinking, how the hell are we ever going to get all this done? Well, I'm about to tell you in a brief summary by how all of us working, we can reach these goals. And the first goal will be to build a core outreach team. And Mark talked about that a little bit earlier. So before tonight is over, I'm going to ask each and every one of you to sign up on this team to become part of the voter outreach. We are going to ask you to give us your contact information as well as your locality where you live. And we will help you with the use of the van. The van is the Voter Action Network. This is the list of every registered voter in the state of Florida. We are going to look you up and find people that are like-minded in your neighborhood and help you build a team. You've heard from Shelley earlier about how to get started. We're very, very lucky because we've had a head start, as we have already created an extensive and active membership. This means that there will be an immediately be able to create a membership team that includes neighbor to neighbor. And as I said, by using the van, we will be able to identify your particular neighborhood, and we can then help you form a local outreach team. And what is this team going to do? Well, once your team is created, we can make available to you all the tools that we have just learned about, these state-of-the-art tools that will help you reach out with phone calls, texting, postcards, and most of all, canvassing. Through brand new software called Scale to Win, as Myra mentioned earlier, the Florida Democratic Party, better known as the FDP, we will use Scale to Win. This will enable you to be incredibly effective. By example, by using the texting program, you can put together a campaign. We will teach you how to do that. And by the push of a button, as we proved when we did this as a beta test for Zone 15, we sent out 9,000 texts, all at one time. And that's the marvelous technology. Those of you who have used texting programs before, do you remember the sore finger you got from going send, 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 send? That is no longer necessary. The Scale to Win program has exactly a similar way of making phone calls by using the dialer. In a beta test program that we did for Zone 3, and forgive me, maybe people are not aware, the Democratic Party, the Palm Beach Democratic Party, through their brilliance, because of the size and the, not only the geographical size, but the demographical size of our committee, we have divided it into zones. These are geographical zones so that we can better organize reaching out to people in those zones. So Zone 3, which had 4,000 people that they wanted to send a phone message to remind them. These were people who had voted by mail in the past 2 election cycles and who had not yet re-enrolled in vote by mail. And again, this is information that we can get off the van, so we can build a list. We got together with the trainer from the FDP, who spent the first 15 minutes of this 2-hour cycle teaching us how to use the software. And then we went on to the software and started to make the calls. Well, I knew that we had 4,000 calls to reach, and I was expecting to sit there, and when the 2 hours was up, I was hoping that we got through about 1,000 of them. All of a sudden, about an hour and a half into making calls, I get a notice, we're done. We're done. And I'm like, wait a minute, we can't be done. How did we get 4,000 calls made? Well, the way the dialer works, you log on to the dialer and you sit and you wait for a beep. What the dialer is doing, it is making the call for you. You don't have to make the call yourself. And if the phone call is answered by an answering machine, it automatically leaves a message. And you sit there and you wait for the beep, and the beep is somebody picked up. You're talking to that person and you're giving the message to that person, and while you're doing that, the dialer continues to make the phone calls and leave the messages. We got through 4,000 calls in less than an hour and a half. And that's with 15 minutes for training. These are the kinds of things that we are going to make available to you. We are going to show you how to canvass. We are going to show you how to canvass to NPAs with one message, and how to canvass to Democrats with another message. And we will make all these tools available to you. All you have to do is sign up. We plan to have specific programs to reach out to all Dems, and a different one to help those with no party affiliation, NPAs. We will use these same effective tools to reach out to people who are not even aware that there is a primary on August 18th. We will remind them that unless they change their affiliation, they will be disenfranchised. We still have a small Democratic minority in this county. When I first started working in the county in '96, we had 100,000 more Dems than anything else. Right now, it's about 10,000 more. But it will be better if we can have that's why we need the voters of the NPA. We will start by giving you the new manual that Myra talked about. It will be made available to you. So this is what we are asking of you. It would be extremely understandable for each of us to be overwhelmed by the unbelievable obstacles like the redistricting that is being put in front of us. However, we have a choice. And hopefully you will choose to find the place where you will be the most comfortable. Find the place where you could even extend your reach. Study the manual, decide how you will choose to participate, and begin to work immediately. Again, sign up tonight with the Voter Outreach Committee. They are waiting for you and would love to have conversations with you. Keeping in mind that these, large and small, who began this great experiment, affirm that you will do everything possible to assure that this experiment is not allowed to fail. Indivisible Boca Raton, under the great leadership of our esteemed leader, Myra, needs your help. Let us join together and make this happen.